Good morning. This is a brief video tour of our DPW facility that was built in 1967, this first section, and then there was a second section that was built in 1972 to house our equipment maintenance facility. I'm going to open the door here and we'll take a walk inside and show you the inside of our storage facility, which is right now very tightly fitted, all the equipment. It's not big enough. It's out of date. We've got our electrical system, HVAC is outdated, needs to be upgraded. So with that, we'll open the door and we'll take a walk inside and I'll show you the facilities here. As you come in, as you can see, there's not a lot of room. Everything is stuffed in here pretty good. So this is where we store our equipment. A lot of it is still outside because of the inadequate space. The ceiling, we've ripped out some of the insulation with the new roof. And as you can hear, we're still infested with birds in here. They live in the insulation on the side of the walls. There is no exhaust extraction equipment in the building, which is also a health issue to the employees in the wintertime when we fire up the trucks. We like to keep our sanders inside because they're loaded so they can get out immediately. And if it's stored outside, the loads freeze. Takes 30 minutes or so for a truck to warm up that's outside. So it's essential to have the inside storage ability for the big trucks, for all of our equipment, and especially being a seaside community where we have the salt air, which also wreaks havoc on the vehicles having to be stored outside. And as we walk around, we store things outside. This is ahead of us here is our hot patch trailer. We go out and fix potholes with this. It has to be plugged in. There's no room for it inside, so we leave it outside and plug it in on the side of the building. Normally, we also plug in one of the bigger trucks to keep the diesel engine warm. So that's one of the deficiencies of having to park outside, is that we need to be able to plug these things in and have electrical outlets to be able to do that, so that the engine stays warm and it would warm up quicker. As you can see, the bottom of this is rusting. There's dents that are actually openings to get inside, which enables small critters to get in there, nest. The windows are not weatherproof. They're not efficient to keep the heat inside. So here as you come around the corner here, there's some equipment storage that we have for equipment maintenance. We do work on the Humvees for the police department. The emergency management trailer, that's got a lot of road closure equipment in it, hosses, cones, and things. So that is an integral part of traffic control in any type of an emergency, so that we can react to those issues. As you come around, you can see that our plows are all out here. The big plows are about $15,000 a piece. So they're outside in the elements, which does not help them, and especially in the wintertime when the snowstorm, we send our crews out to sand first, our first line of defense, and then they come back to the shop and they have to put their plows on. And a lot of times it's raining, snowing, they're getting soaking wet, they're doing this outside. With a new garage, we'll be able to have this work performed under a roof where they're not wet, and they can get right back out, and it's quicker. They're right there inside, able to just pull up to their plows, connect them, and off they go. So out of the elements, they get wet. We don't currently have any real good shower facilities, so they start their night off or day off soaking wet after putting their plows on. So by having that ability to put it inside would enhance our operation greatly. As we make our way around this way, you can see there's a lot of other equipment as we come around the corner here that have to be stored outside because either it's too big to fit in the garage doors that we have, or there's just no room. So in the wintertime, we try to take advantage of maybe empty bays in the equipment maintenance, but sometimes they're full with repair jobs, so that sometimes we're not able to do that. As you can see, the Vector truck, the wastewater truck here, doesn't get inside the garage because of the height of the boom and the tank. It does not fit in our garage. The doors aren't high enough. We also have the same issue with the ladder truck from the fire department. It doesn't fit inside, nor does our bucket truck for the trees, cemetery trees and greens. So it's essential that we get this equipment inside, not only to be able to repair it, but to keep it out of the elements so that we get a little longer life out of it. That piece of equipment right there is $475,000 brand new. And the ladder truck is over $1 million, $1.5 million, I believe. So there's a lot of equipment that needs to be able to get inside these buildings. These dump trucks go for about $215,000 a piece. The 10-wheelers go for about $305,000. So as I mentioned earlier, we have about $7 million in inventory here that half of it is kept outside. Now, we do not have an adequate bin system for material. We bought blocks and we've set things up down back for our storage. We keep gravel, sand, stone, our salt sheds down back. We have a bullpen, we call it here, with some trailers, storage trailers in it that handle the lawnmowers. We put them away for cold storage in the winter time. So it's still outside. It's, you know, there's no heat in any of those storage containers. We store materials in there, pipe, cement, anything that the men and women of the department will need on a daily basis. A lot of the structural stuff that was done, the doorway over there, when they went to replace the door, they had to replace the structural steel around the opening of the door because it was all rotted, and they couldn't put the door up without replacing it. Also on the bottom, the metal was rotted right at the floor, so we had to cut it out and replace small pieces of that for the structural integrity of that side of the building. At one point we had temporary structures, braces holding up the cemetery and trees storage area in the corner. It's since been fixed, and that was 3 spots in here that was there, 1 spot out back, and then another one over in this corner here that we had to do some structural supports and do the beams. One of the biggest issues that we find we have here is respiratory illnesses with the employees. Because of the birds, because of the mold that's up in the insulation, and the poor air exchange in the building, we've had a jump in people being out sick with respiratory illnesses. So that's one of the crucial issues of getting this cleaned up and getting something new for them. They deserve better for the amount of time they live here during storms. So it's very important to have a healthy facility for these people so they're not missing time. With that, I thank you, and thank you for taking the time to see what we have to live in year-round here, and would greatly appreciate any support we could get to bring this facility up to code and give the men and women of the department the proper facility that's healthy and safe. Thank you.